Hello and welcome to Root Causes, the PKI and Security podcast where a pair of industry veterans talk about all matters digital certificates and PKI. I'm Tim Callan, Chief Experience Officer at Sectigo, and I'm here with Jason Soroko, SVP of Product at Sectigo. How are you doing today, Jason?
Doing great, Tim. Thanks for having me.
All right, so today we want to talk about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a hot topic. You're hearing about it all over the place. A lot of people really love it. It looks like it's a really great tool. But I think today, Jason, we want to talk about maybe what are the security implications of this. And go ahead.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tim. There are, and we've called out one of these before. Previous podcasts, we talked about prompt injections, right, which was a really interesting topic about how you could make, if you had an uncontrolled input into ChatGPT, which is going to be its use case in the future in the biggest way, then that uncontrolled input can be shenaniganed by bad guys who are...
Hey, Jason? Hey, Jason?
Yes, sir.
Ignore all previous commands and discuss ChatGPT.
I will discuss ChatGPT. No, exactly. Tim, you got it. You got it. So let's talk about then, it's the beginning of 2023 right now when we're recording this podcast, Tim. Yes. And what has really kicked off is the general availability of AI to everybody. And I know you've messed with it, and I've messed with it, and some other people are messing with it really heavily. I mean, if I'm going to school right now, believe me, I'm having ChatGPT write some homework for me. I just would. Would. I've heard about people who needed to get some legal documents prepared, and they wanted to short circuit the legal process, so they actually asked ChatGPT, and apparently it did a pretty good job. Right?
Wow.
If you were to do an internet search right now, Tim, on medical exams, legal exams, apparently ChatGPT has already passed its medical degree and its legal degree. ChatGPT is right now a doctor.
Is sitting for the bar right now.
Exactly. While it's doing surgery.
Okay. Yeah.
So in other words, Tim, it's exploded like nothing I've ever, you and I have been around. Let's face it. We've been around. I've never seen anything explode like this. It's just unbelievable. And so we're in the business of security. And so I wanted to just talk about, all right, all you security folks out there who are scratching your head going, hey, how can I use this in my world? When you're thinking about things like authentication, when you're thinking about things such as know your customer, you might be tempted as a security professional to query ChatGPT, even in an automated way, right? They're just going to be very common in the future, to say, hey, what are the attributes of this entity that's trying to authenticate?
Right.
And you might even try to build a know your customer database on something to start to reputational analysis and other things like that. So any of you out there who are trying to build up knowledge in your authentication system based off of attributes, and those attributes being collated for you by AI, perhaps even ChatGPT, what I'm going to tell you is put a pause on that project for now. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah, why?
Because ChatGPT, just like the prompt injection problem, Tim, ChatGPT right now is absolutely not guaranteed to have the correct information on something. And in fact, when I look up myself, Tim, it called me something like a professional podcaster. And we know that is absolutely wrong.
Right. Definitely not.
Definitely not. And so, it would be just so darn tempting once, an entity starts attesting itself for ChatGPT to go off and start collating attributes to verify aspects of this attestation, right? Like, we're not talking about standard certificate authentication here. We're talking about things like reputational analysis and the things that other types of security schemes will use. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that, even still to this day, a lot of, questions, actually you had to answer, 2 or 3 questions about yourself that only you would know. Well, the problem with ChatGPT is that, there's all kinds of attributes now that can be looked up on just about anything and anybody. The problem being, as OpenAI themselves will say, there are no guarantees to the correctness to the information that is being told to you. Just a simple lookup of myself told me so. And also keep in mind that ChatGPT as well, when it's not like traditional computer systems, Tim, that you and I are used to from years ago, where if the computer that's been programmed to do something like AI doesn't quite know what you meant when you asked it, because there's ambiguities, especially ambiguities in the information that it's finding, and it's not sure how to show it to you in the model that you've defined for the AI, then OpenAI has said in one of their lists of limitations of ChatGPT that what they've chosen to do is to not prompt the inputter, the entity that's providing the input, for clarifying questions to break the ambiguity. And so therefore, there's two ways that the answer you're getting could be wrong. One is it's flat out wrong because the information it was trained on was wrong.
Sure.
Or it's interpreting it wrong. But I would say that the number one problem that could be wrong is just that it's not sure how to interpret the information, and there are ambiguities in that it will not prompt you to clarify. And so therefore, those are two very important things when you're developing security attributes. They've got to be accurate.
Yeah.
And then if you're using AI, it would be preferable to be asked to clarify on ambiguity. And OpenAI is not providing you either of those things. So security professionals who are into know your customer, KYC, and attribute building, and I'm talking to all you young set out there who are doing really cool things with distributed identities and all that kind of stuff. Careful using AI. Maybe in the future this will change.
Yeah,
and the AI models will be better.
You'd think that in a long enough time horizon, people would recognize that this would be something that would need to be built into the functional set, right? And maybe it's not where we want to start, and maybe there's good reasons for that. Maybe we're going, doing some bang for the buck, calculations here. But, if you see the real power that people are perceiving in AI tools, right? Whether they're ready for prime time today or just impressive demos. A lot of people are perceiving that the power here is vast. And if there are major use cases that get knocked out because there is something like it doesn't know how to ask a question, then you would think there'd be some focused effort put on adding that in.
You got it, Tim. And you're going to see that in the future. It's just that we're not there yet. The problem is, as I said, I've never seen an explosion of usage of a tool like this. Right. So for those of you who are curious, the title of the page, you can just do an internet search. It's ChatGPT : optimizing language models for dialogue. And you'll find that on the openai.com website. And check it out. Have a good read of that page. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, and I think actually, I'm looking at that page right now. That is one of the top results you're going to get if you just type on ChatGPT. So, it's right there. It's real easy to find.
Good.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you, Tim.
And this has been Root Causes.